Okay, now I am, I think, in the webinar, right? Okay.
Welcome. We're going to get started in just a few more minutes. We're going to wait a couple more minutes for people to enter, and then we're looking forward to speaking with all of you this afternoon. Hi, Sandra. Welcome to the class.
And I'm going to share my screen now.
Perfect. Thank you, Nirmal.
Sure. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I see your screen. Does everybody else see the screen on their end? Give us a little thumbs up in the chat or something so we know you guys can see what's happening. Yes, they can see our screen, Nirmal. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and start. My name is Judy Gutierrez, and I'm a family childcare provider here in Colorado. I've been doing family childcare for about 30 years, and I'm passionate about children and gardening and everything STEAM. So I'm excited to be sharing some ideas with you guys today, and I hope that you're going to be able to take these and integrate them into your spaces and into your classrooms. Whether you're on vacation right now and are not teaching at the moment, but I'm hoping that when you come back to the classroom, maybe this fall, you'll be able to integrate these ideas that we're going to be sharing with you today. But first, I wanted to start by thanking the California Early Math Project for having us here today and giving us this great opportunity to share with you. But I also want to introduce my co-speaker, Nirmal, and I'll let her chime in now.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm honored to be here with you all today. I'm an early childhood educator, over 5 years of experience. I have been in the preschool for like 2 years. I'm passionate about creating nurturing learning environments and supporting the families. Today, I'm excited to talk with you about learning beyond the classroom and its value in education. I hope you'll find it valuable and inspiring. I also would like to thank Early Math Project for giving us opportunity as speaker and sharing our knowledge with you all. Thank you.
So for our agenda today, we're going to start with the value of gardening in education, math and science, and then getting started with gardening, integrating math and science into gardening, engaging children in gardening, exploring different types of gardens, involving families in gardening activities, and funding sources that are available to you that you may want to look into. You'll also find some resources at the end with some recipes and some book references as well. So let's go ahead and get started. If you guys can all, we're going to do a quick poll. I would like to know what is the most important thing that you want to get from this training, or what you want, what you hope to learn from this training today. Looks like practical strategies it's got quite a few, and how to better engage children. Oh my gosh, I know that. That's a hard one. But hopefully we have some answers for you guys today. Oh, looks like a few how to start gardening with kids of oh, we definitely face that because we do have that multi-age group in a family childcare home. So, but it can be done. Definitely can be done. A deeper understanding of the topic, yes, for sure. I think everybody's entered. So it looks like most people want to learn more strategies and how to better engage children. How to start that gardening is third, and then a deeper understanding is fourth. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end this poll here. Hopefully we're going to be able to answer some of those questions or things that you guys are interested in learning about today. Nirmal?
Yeah. All right, let's get started. I see that, yeah, we're going to cover all of those topics actually. So we should be good now. Okay, so value of gardening in education. So when we talk about gardening, gardening offers many meaningful benefits for children, and we're going to look at them one by one. Um, why do gardening important? Gardening is important for their physical health, for their mental health, and for their personal growth. Gardening helps children to do like exercise. For example, when they are digging the soil, they are pulling the weeds, they are watering the plants, they're carrying the gardening tools. They see a butterfly in the garden and they run behind them. So it's all about fine motor skills and the gross motor skills that they apply when they start gardening. The second one is the mental health. Gardening helps a calm and peaceful environment where children can connect with nature. When they connect with nature, they reduces their stress and anxiety. Many people, they watch the seed how they grow into the sprout, and it can be very calming for them. They see flowers, they see bugs, and it they they get excited, and they get like they smell flowers, they touch the soil, they touch like some sensory plants, and they see like they reduce their stress and they fosters their mind. Personal growth, um, it develops responsibility and patience. So in my daycare, one of my kid planted a seed and he went home. And next day, when he came back, he asked me, "Oh, I planted the seed yesterday, and I think the plant is come out now. I can see, but where is my plant? It didn't come out. Where did it go?" And so we said, "Oh no, the plants don't grow overnight. We had to water them. We had to give them sunlight. We had to care for them. It it helps to teach them patience, time management, and accountability." not only the physical health, but it has educational benefits in in their life. And then they learn a lot from hands-on learning. Instead of just reading a book about how a plant grows, students observe, they participate, and they do all kinds of processing when they're doing gardening. When they plant a seed, so in my daycare, we have a chart, weekly chart, where they measure like how much the plant is growing, and they predict. They imagine that, oh, the plant will be ready in maybe 20 weeks, and we might get flower. And then after 30 weeks, we might get fruits. They learn about how that connected to the life cycle of a plant. It enhances STEAM skills. It supports the gardening supports the development in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. When we talk about science, children learn about what does the plant need. Plants need sunlight, they need water. When they put the more water, they would be over watering. And what happens to the plant? Maybe it would not survive. So we had to take care of the plants. This is the science they're learning. They're learning about the technology. That so my husband puts the drip irrigation, and children comes there and they put the timers on. Oh, we just need 10 minutes timer for the plants, or they need like 15 minutes. If you overwater them, they might not survive. So they understand that that's the technology behind it. Then they um, do like engineering. They see like how long is the raised bed, and how many seeds should it need. It needs like 5 or 10. What happens when we put like drip irrigation inside? Does it get more water? The engineering involves in that. When we talk about arts, they take leaves. They can see they can see the different kinds of leaves, and they use the colors and paints on them, and they do painting with the leaves, or they see like different kinds of colors inside the environment, and they have fun making this. Sometimes they make the color paint with the leaves. So this is a kind of art. Then the math, measuring the height of the plant. Then they do sound counts the seeds. They do like how many flowers we got, how many fruits we got. Is the fruit big? Is the fruit small? Which plant got the seed big and small? Not only that, but they learn about biology. They learn about, oh, the seed is getting a root, the seed is getting leaf, the seed is growing and it's coming into the shoot, and then we get the leaves. They learn about the pollination. They see like how the insects are going inside the soil, and they helps soil to get aerated. Nutrition. When they start gardening, they get connected to the nature. They get connected to the plants that they are growing. They connected to the fruits and vegetables that they are harvesting, and which helps them to understand that, oh, this is the hard earned plant, so I had to eat that plant, or like I had to eat that fruits and vegetables. It helps them to uh, motivate to try and eat the fruits and vegetables from their own garden. Social and emotional development. Gardening has big role in social and emotional development. This strengthens their work when they are in a school. They have friends around them. When gardening, it helps them to have them together, and they work in pairs. They do the task like digging, planting, watering, harvesting. They learn that by picking up the fruits and vegetables, which one is heavy, which one is light. If it is heavy, can I help you, please? Can I? So, if you can see this picture, it's from Miss Judy's garden. The big watermelon is there, and like the other kid is saying that, oh, I would like to help you. This sense that this is the kind of problem solving. It's a cooperation. It's a teamwork, and they learn these skills in a fun and meaningful way. Sense of community. When children grow to grow the garden together. They feel that it's something meaningful. It's a small, their small efforts that they turn into a bigger role. So, like growing the food, and then that food would be used for class snack or as a community event. Gardening and nutrition. When children themselves plants and gets involved in the gardening process, they learn that, oh, we this is the nature, and this is what we have cultivated from the garden. So they harvest, and they started um, they start to eat the fruits and vegetables that they don't like. Um, Awareness of food sources. So one of my preschooler that day, when I asked to my preschooler about where do you go and where do you get the food and I mean fruits and vegetables from, he said, "Oh, me and my mom goes to grocery stores and gets the vegetables and fruits from." So when plants are when sorry when children are involved in the process of planting the seeds, they watch the plant grow, they see like where the fruit's coming from, and they understand that, oh, the food comes from directly from the plants, vegetables that we grow. And it encourages them to try and new fruits and vegetables. Now that we have seen, we have learned about the value of gardening in education, we are going to see how we can start gardening, because during the poll time, we have seen that some of you mentioned they are new in the gardening process. So how we can start the gardening with children, how to start the gardening, um, whether it is small or whether it is big. When we are planning the gardening, we can always start with the simpler projects. We can also start like with only one pot or two pots to grow the flowers, radishes, any kind of vegetables and fruits. So if you see in this picture shows like this boy, he decided to do the potting in the small scale. So he said, I'm just going to get the small pot, and I'm going to plant the cucumbers because my mom loves cucumbers. So I want to do the cucumbers first because it's a Mother's Day. So we did this activity when it was Mother's Day. Um, it is very simple to do the small scale gardening where we can use like different kinds of containers. We can use different kinds of raised beds, pallets, just even the plastic bags can be useful. When we say that when we start gardening, it just needs sunlight, water access, and the proper drainage. Choose the right garden. Select a garden type that is available for your space and lifestyle. So when we say that I don't have much space outside, what should I do? We can start gardening in the um, like in the window slide, or we can just put some of the seeds inside the cups and put it near to the window. And that that also involves children, that also involves gardening. Now, choosing the right kind of garden. What should I use for my garden? It could be the container gardening, it could be a small raised bed, or it could be uh, anything that is easy for you to grow. When children are engaged into the gardening, such kind of gardening, they see that, oh, we don't have to do anything big. We can do small. And then they're happy with doing the small things because they love gardening. Types of beginner gardens. What kind of gardens we can use? The first one, as I said, container gardening. It's very ideal for the small space. Example, the pots. You can use different kinds of pots to grow tomatoes or marigolds. Um, you can ask children to decorate their own pots. Even they can write the names on the what vegetable or plant they are growing. So they can write the name on the even popsicle sticks and they put it in there. Then pallet gardening. We can use the vertical space and we can see how we can use like recycled wooden pallet and we can build a vertical space. It doesn't require like much space. Raised bed gardening. It provides like a lot of soil control and it gives like great outdoor group projects. So children can grow the plants in the group. So they get their space, they get their name tags, they put their name tags on the whatever they're whatever they are growing, and they'll be happy to plant anything that they want. Indoor hub gardens. It would be best for the classrooms with no outdoor space because they can be raised in the small cups or in the small containers. Recycled tire garden. So one of our friend, she used the recycled tires. They can be painted in the beautiful colors, or they can be used like that. It just the old material that we're going to do it, like use it, and they can be filled with the soil and grow flowers and vegetables in there. For example, zinnia flowers or any other flowers. Bag gardening, it is the low cost option to grow all kinds of vegetables and fruits. So we just have to get like reuse shopping bags. They also work and put all the soil in there and they can start doing gardening. Um, this gardening helps children to encourage their responsibility. They do the teamwork. They are very curious and they love for the nature. So even if we start small, we can plan smart and then we can grow and learn together. Now that we have learned on this slide that how to plan our garden, what kind of gardens we can choose as per the space and how we are going to get started with gardening. Starting with the gardening is not that hard. It just we can grow we can grow anything that you want. Vegetables, the simple vegetables, simple herbs, the flowers, anything. So there are simple tools that you can use like trowels, hand forks, gloves, watering can, or pruners. When you are confident enough that I can use that in the large quantity, we can use raised bed kit or the trellis or the garden cart. Watering requirements, the frequency of the water. When we give water to the plants, make sure that the plants should not get overwater or underwater. It should not get wilted or like overwatering. Observing plant needs, you will see the signs that the leaves are yellow or soggy. It could mean that it is overwatering. When you see your plants, you adjust the care according to the needs of the plant. Adjusting for the seasons, mostly in the hot summer months, the plant need more water, like or frequently we had to do the watering to the plants. But while in cooler seasons, we need just less water. Similarly, some plants may need more sun. Some plants may need less sun, or they can be grown in the shade. So if anyone has any questions with all these topics, please let me know in the chat. And I am going to hand over to Miss Judy.
Well, actually, I wanted to address something really quick before we move on to the next
Yes.
thing. I wanted to
Yeah.
talk about when we do use those tires and those recycled pallets, because I really am a big advocate for reusing and repurposing materials. that we don't plant anything that is food related in the pallets or the tires because of contamination. But those are great resources for planting plants that are flowers that are going to be grown and not something that's edible. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. And also, too, I wanted to mention, know your zones. Know what zone your area that you're growing in, so that way you know what to grow in your garden, or find out what native plants are going to grow best in your gardens and your areas. So I just wanted to make sure that I threw that out there, that you don't grow anything that's edible and anything that is a tire or a pallet or anything that, but use those items for other things, just like beautiful flowers, because who doesn't love a beautiful flower garden? Um, but also, I'm going to start talking about integrating math and science into gardening. I've got lots of notes, so I'm going to talk probably a little bit quickly, just because I want to make sure that I address all the things that I wanted to share with you today. I want to talk about how at our family childcare home, that it is a full-on hands experience. We are using things in full hands experience that provides us with an opportunity to explore math and science with preschoolers. It encourages observations, critical thinking, and real-world problem-solving skills. Some of the key areas include counting. So I'm talking about counting seeds, counting the sprouts when they come up, and then compare those. How many seeds did we plant and how many sprouts did we get? And also counting weeds, because of course we're going to be weeding that garden, and use scales. We use charts and graphs all the time. How many this week we counted and we weighed and we had half a pound of weeds, and the following week we had less. And then maybe the week after that, because we are having tons of rain where we live right now, we're having way more weeds than we normally would have. So also talk about using we use this 5-gallon jug where we've been measuring our water. We've had lots and lots of rain in Colorado lately. So we have been using that 5-gallon jug, and we're graphing to see which weeks have had more rain than other weeks. And then we use that water. How can we use that water? We use it, we put it back into our plants, or can we use it for something else? So we want to, so they're learning the importance and the value of our water resource, because we want to make sure that we're not using too much water as well. We're talking about sorting those plants by size and type and color and growth, and looking in our environment and counting how many vegetables do we have growing, how many flowers do we have growing, and comparing which ones do we have more flowers, do we have more vegetables? And also exploring geometry, identifying and exploring those geometric shapes in plant structures and leaves and in our garden layout. We talked about measuring and seeing how long our garden beds were. Some were rectangles, some were a triangle, some, like our bags, those are round. Also, too, I wanted to mention, don't be scared of gardening and thinking you don't have a lot of space, because you can garden in cups and put those cups in a sunny window or right outside your classroom door. Just make sure that they are getting some sunlight and that they get the proper water and they have soil and they're going to grow. Too, if you feel like I don't have a green thumb, you don't need to have a green thumb to garden. Children, it's even from our failures, I feel like we've learned, like, oh, hey, I wonder what happened. Why didn't that grow? What could we do different? I think those are important conversations to have with children. Also, when we're talking about measurement and we're talking about volume, we can also talk about how many bags of soil do you think we're going to need to fill this bin or this garden bed, or then comparing sizes. Like you can see right here, my little friend, they're comparing small, medium, and large. And also a scavenger hunt here. That's, I think, my kid's favorite thing to do is go on a scavenger hunt. I make it super simple. I just take pictures of the items that I have in my yard, whether it's fairies, a rock, flowers, all the different items that we have. And sometimes I sneak little dinosaurs into our playground and that kind of stuff, and I'll take photos. And then the kids will look at the photos and then go on a hunt and go looking for those items that they see in the photos. And they come back, and I have there's cameras that I bought on Amazon that have the receipt paper. So that way, when it's very economical for me, but they take their own cameras and they take pictures of the items as they're finding them on our scavenger hunt. So that gives them an opportunity, of course, to observe and find and search and classifying those, using that classification skills. And I think that those are all important and valuable lessons for young children in our environments. Let me go ahead. We can go to the next screen. And integrating math and science life cycles. Here you can see, I know many of us have purchased those caterpillar kits that you get either from Amazon or other different places, like whether it's a butterfly or ladybugs. Kids learn so much from studying and observing these animals and these insects. As you can see, we have a little friend here who's, on that day we released our butterflies, and our butterflies landed on their arms and on their heads and on their feet. And they were just so excited to watch that process of them going from a caterpillar and then going into a chrysalis and then becoming a butterfly and then eventually us releasing them. Too, with all the rain we've had, you can see the worms that my friend in the bottom photo there is holding. I didn't have raincoats, so I used our paint smocks that are plastic and our sun hats and our rain boots, and we just went on a hunt looking for worms on a rainy day, and we probably found about 50 worms. We measured them, we counted them, we saw how long they were. Some were shorter, some were fatter. So we talked about all of the different things that we saw and where they were going. Where are these worms going? Why are they out? Why are they out? What's happened in our environment that's changed that we see them out today? And of course, they're like, oh, it's raining, Miss Judy, and that's why all the worms are out. Yes, they're out because it's raining. Let's measure. Let's make sure we have our measuring tapes. Let's make sure we bring our cameras. Let's bring our journals. So it's giving them the opportunity to also be writing and drawing and capturing those moments on photos as well. So I think that too, it gives us an opportunity to give those, because they may not get a chance to get out all the time when on a rainy day. Not all families are about being outside and getting wet on a rainy day. But I want to take advantage of all of those moments that are presented. I think that even on a rainy day, there's so much to learn about our environment and to learn about nature and math and science and integrating that into our classroom learning experiences. Also learning about habitats, create bug houses. We have outside in our because we have an outdoor classroom as well. We have specimen collecting containers that I bought just from the Dollar Tree, where they collect whether it's a ladybug or a roly-poly or a spider. They put them in those little specimen jars and use their magnifying glasses. And like the other day, they caught some ladybugs and they were noticing that all the ladybugs had different amount of spots on them. So then why do they have those spots? What do those spots represent? What does that mean? I mean, it creates that opportunity of wonder and curiosity and discovery. And we just don't want to miss on those experiences. So create those bug houses. Don't be afraid of those worms. And letting children understand the ecosystems and the biodiversities that are happening within our backyards in itself. I mean, this year we're going to be struggling in our garden because we have grubs. So what are we going to do? What do you think those grubs are doing in our garden? And how are they going to affect our garden? So I think just get out there and dig and just enjoy the moment and the curiosity that comes with all of this experience with your young children. Do you guys have any questions about any of this, integrating the life cycles or observations, or any questions or tips that you might want to have? Throw them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to share some ideas with you, but we're going to get ready for a breakout room. Oh, somebody has something that says, we did our gardening project and children were very happy and even see the harvest. Yes. As you can see, my garden is the one with the watermelons and all of that stuff. It looks like a kind of a little bit of a chaotic mess, but the kids love the idea of harvesting those vegetables and bring that farm to table experience. And not only that, we got to share our vegetables with our neighbors, our families. We have some chickens that live next door. So some things that got a little bit overripe, we headed over next door and we shared them with the chickens that were next door to us so that nothing got wasted, whether it was the leaves or the vegetables, everything was used. So thanks for sharing. I think it's Jima. So let's head into that breakout room.
Did we? Hi,
Hmm.
Judy?
Yes.
Did something happen?
I don't know. I think they're in breakout room. I think they're in the breakout room. Don't fret. We'll send a message to Lisa. Can we? How do I get there? Oh my goodness. I think, Lisa, can you help us with the breakout rooms and get us in there? I think we've had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I'm sure we're gonna figure it out. Thank you for letting us know, Ramonda. You got to join a breakout room. It looks like you just join in. Oh, yeah, she just opened the breakout rooms. So just join in there. And I think the question is, what skills do you think this child is learning through this play?
Judy, did you ask that question? Like, what skills do you think the child is learning through this play? Yeah, okay. Because I think something happened on my screen and it got froze. So it's like, what happened like that? Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Lisa,
Can't
you're on
hear you,
mute.
Lisa.
Sorry about that. I
Yeah,
guess I jumped the gun. When do you want to end it? And I can give them a 1 minute.
How about in another minute or so?
yeah,
Okay, you want a 1 minute warning?
Yeah, 1 minute warning
yeah.
sounds
I
good.
don't
Thank
know
you,
how
Lisa.
to add anybody who didn't get into a room.
Oh,
So sorry.
it's okay.
Okay. I have to go back. Bye-bye.
So Rumanda is saying that I'm still listening to all of you. Um,
Okay, Ramonda, if you can still hear us. This question was, what skills do you think a child is learning through this play? Maybe you can give us some ideas in the chat. If you didn't get in a room, maybe you can answer it through the chat. I'm sorry about that. Now, do you share the next screen, Nirmal?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so we're going to talk to them about like
Yes.
what they have seen.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll just need a minute to discuss, like if they want to discuss.
Yes. Yeah, put your answers in the chat. It's definitely gonna be a great discussion part, I think, because there's so much to learn about all of this stuff. So yeah, if you didn't get in a chat room, I make sure you put it in the chat so that way we can hear your thoughts and your ideas as well. You guys have so much important information to share.
Can you see my screen?
I do not see, I see you,
No?
but I don't see the screen. Nope.
Okay, I'll just share it again. I think because of the,
Okay, there we.
okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, there you are. There we go.
Okay. All right.
Yes, like they were saying,
Okay.
definitely saw a little guy filling eggs in containers. So
Yeah.
we'll say capacity, definitely more and less in capacity for sure. Nirmal did this activity. So Nirmal, would you like to share what happened during this experience?
Yes, this little guy was is very interested in gardening. So he like after Easter egg hunt, we had some leftover egg, and they just broke it into two, and they just started by colors. They put the soil in it. She asked me like, can I water it? And he put like some seeds in there. So like whether the seeds will grow by themselves. No, then what we had to put? We had to put some soil in there. If you put the soil in there, uh, so what does plant need? I mean, what does the seed need to grow? It needs water, it needs sunlight. And so when he started watering, first he started with this little spoon. And then he said, oh, I see the dropper here. So I'll start with the dropper. When he started with the dropper, he saw that some of them were flooding. Some of them will get like less water. So he said, I want to see like which one is heavier and which one is lighter. So he put it in this balance, and he saw, oh, when I put like more water, Miss Nirmal, it's going down. That means it's heavy. So he saw like some he got one of the eggshell where he put like a little soil, and he said, oh, this is not heavy at all. So this is how the children can get engaged, not only just like digging the soil or like just putting the seeds. They can see, they can observe, they can count, they can measure, they can think. So everything is all together. So this activity was very win-win for us because um, they learn a lot of things from this activity.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm so sorry that you guys experienced a little bit of confusion during the breakout room. But yeah, so as you can see, they use the scale, the weighing, the measuring, how much soil do we need? How much does it, how much water, how much is too much, how much, so we need less. So again, There's so many math concepts that are being experienced during this activity. And just putting the stuff out and just letting, I wonder what happens. I wonder what happens. What should we do with these seeds? What can we do? Oh, we have some soil, we have some water. What can we do? And they will come up with those ideas. And we just gotta, and like I said, don't worry about failures because we can learn so many lessons from our failures. Oh, if something doesn't work out right, what can we do different? What do we need to do this next time? Since I've seen different approaches to gardening and liked where there was a teacher that had all of the children plant beans and had them measure using the measuring tape their bean plant if it has grown more throughout the weekend or during the week, having a chart with their names and how big the plants were. Yes, this is an opportunity to use those rulers, those measuring tape, the yardsticks, the yarn, and even just putting them up, like, just taping the yarn to see like, oh, look, this is how big it is this week. Oh, look how much more it's grown the next week, and charting that stuff. I think that's such a great idea. Thank you for sharing with us, Sandra.
Next slide.
Yes, please.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Okay, so engaging children in gardening, get their hands dirty. Dig, plant, water, harvest together for a full gardening experience. Use those sensory exploration, encourage exploring through touch. I'm a big advocate for providing an environment that we have what we call our Sniffy, the caterpillar. I'm sure we're going to see a picture of him in the next couple of slides, but it's just a few pots and I put some big old googly eyes on the front and I have herbs in there. So they're able to touch and smell the rosemary, the mint, the lemongrass. Oh my gosh, what else is in there right now? Like I said, all the different herbs, and they go by and they just smell them. So not only are they smelling, they're feeling all the different textures, and we're able to talk about all of those things. So not only are they seeing them, but they're smelling them and they're touching them. Celebrate the milestones, collaborate, and with other families and talk about coming in and harvesting with us on those days and celebrate the little sprouts that are even growing. I had a family, we had family field day. As you can see in the picture in the bottom there where they're painting the pots. That's one of my daycare children and a parent on the other side. And on family field day, they came and they painted our pots that we were going to use in our garden space. So that was a great way to have parents come in and also bless us with the pots and plants because we also have a butterfly garden. So they all bring a plant that they share with us and we create a beautiful butterfly garden. So that kind of gives them that sense of ownership as well to the children and also gets parents and families involved. So make it fun, be creative. We have a salsa garden that's growing right now. There's a recipe at the end. Guys will be able to get in there where it gives you some ideas on how to make your own homemade salsa and chips. You could do a pizza garden with tomatoes and basil and oregano and do your own pizza garden and maybe have families come and help make pizzas on one day. Like I said, the painting the pots and colorful garden markers. You saw too, like there was a photo where you saw a little girl and she was writing broccoli on one of those markers. There's that literacy piece that also comes in. So don't forget that. Let them write on those markers. It doesn't matter what it really looks like. Because I think that they're proud of that. And build a scarecrow. Oh my gosh, who doesn't want a scarecrow in their garden? I think that, getting those baggy pants and stuffing them all up and setting it out in your garden, I think is just a great addition to what and it doesn't cost a lot. You could use some old pants that you have that are your husband's, or somebody could donate it with a plaid shirt. I mean, just make it your own space and have the children just be a great big part of that. Next slide. And encouraging that responsibility in order to personalize their garden, let children name the plants or the garden. We have a sign outside of our garden that's Judy's Jitterbugs Garden. Do job charts where they can rotate the tasks. Some kids can water, some kids can weed, some kids can do the measuring. Oh, here's the Sniffy, the little guy I was talking about. here you can see that they're smelling him right there. And you can see my little friend, she's writing the words down of what we were planting that day. And one of my little guys, like I said, it's a little bit of chaos in our garden because there's so much growing, but you can see us picking our cucumbers, our tomatoes, our bell peppers. So that just gives them that sense of ownership and responsibility because they care for our garden. It's their work and they have such a great sense of pride in that. Like I said, just engage in those sensory experiences and the scents and the colors, bug and plant exploration, use magnifying glasses. Like I said, right now we've got grubs in our garden. So they're out there with that magnifying glass and they're helping capture some grubs in some containers so we can get them out because we know that they're going to affect our harvest this year. But we also know that next year we're going to try again. We knew that was a problem this year. What can we do next year so that we don't have that? And then just make sure those journals are available so that they're always out there writing in those journals. I'm always saying, oh, did you remember to write that in the journal? If they see something, oh, did you remember to take a picture of that? And then we rip it off of the receipt tape and tape it onto our journals. So then they can share those with their families when their families come in to harvest from our garden.
Next slide.
Okay, next slide. Nirmal, do you want to do this one?
Yes. So celebrating successes and progress when we engage the children in the garden. So last year we had like a nutrition specialist come in here. So it was our field day and all the parents were invited. We went in the garden and they harvested all the vegetables. Moms, dads, grandparents, they all were invited. So all the multi-generation was there and um, they they picked some tomatoes, bell peppers. They harvested some of the veggies. Moms made a nice salad with that, and then we had a success party on that day. So this is a kind of party which involves everybody, and they also made like a scrapbook with that memory, like what did we harvested, who came that time, how did you feel about it, and we also made a recipe book because we had we had people from different cultures, so we also made the recipe book with it, and we had like huge success. They enjoyed harvesting and they moms helped us like preparing for the salad. All
I
right.
have a question in the chat. Somebody was asking on slide 12 what I believe the plant is, and I think it might be lamb's ear that on slide 12. If you
Yeah,
look,
this one, yes, this is from my garden, and this is the lamb's ear. It has soft touch, and it's very good for people who have some sensory issues. So I had IOP kid who was like not touching any plant, and then it made into me to think that, oh, how I'm going to incorporate those sensory skills inside the garden so that he might feel confident to touch the plants. And we put the lamb's ear in here, and he was very fond of that lamb's ear. Every time he used to go and touch, oh, it's still soft. So tomorrow he'll come and touch. It's still soft. So so it was a huge success for him to have coming out of that sensory issues with the plants. I think I covered that question.
thank
Right?
you.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So poll time, Judy? Yeah.
Okay, this is a great question. If you could only grow one plant for your garden, what would you choose? If you could only grow one plant in your garden forever and ever and ever, what would you pick to grow? Oh, yes, put your answers in the chat. Because I'm curious to know what everybody wants to grow. I'm always partial to lots of flowers, but oh, strawberries. Yes, strawberries. We're growing strawberries right now. We're
Yes.
loving the strawberries. The kids, you know what? And the kids, they just walk over and they just pick it and eat it. Just the same thing with cherry tomatoes. Oh, tomatoes because I love them, so I will have them easy on hand. Absolutely. Cucumbers. Yes, you saw my little, that huge cucumber. Potatoes. Yes, potatoes. Carrots, if you can grow carrots in a something that you can see through. We have like a, a wooden thing and then like a wooden box, and then the front has a plexiglass in front of it so they could see the roots in the carrots growing, and potatoes would be great in there. I'm gonna have to remember that. Thanks, Kimberly. Cilantro reseeds for the next year. Oh, you must live in a good zone. You're gonna have to tell me what zone you're in, Ramonda. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the poll. Okay, let's see.
All right, now we have learned so much. We're just going to explore different types of gardens. So
Wow,
these are some of my gardens and Judy's gardens. So this is obviously the herb gardens are easy to grow. I would like to focus on cultural garden. So we have one family who is from India, and he after the discussion with moms and dads, came to know like what kind of garden they grow. So we have different kinds of cultural gardens and the plants in here. So this is they are very specific about like holy basil, the tulsi plant, which they worship for the gods. They have like marigold plants, they have the lemongrass plants, and this is how we can integrate the different families from different cultures into our schools. And when they are involved in the schools, automatically the children are more involved in the schools. Then we see the sensory garden. This is my garden with lamb's ear, zinnia flowers, some grapes. It has marigolds and some of the peas. So it's all about the sensory. The lamb's ear is feel, touch and feel. Then we have zinnia flowers, which they can see, smell, and some of the grapes, which they can be, and the peas, which they can pick and see what is there growing in there. Then we can, yeah, then the butterfly garden. The butterfly garden is a good way to introduce the flowering plants, which attracts and supports butterflies. We can also grow like nectar-rich flowering plants that adult butterflies can feed on. Yeah, so this is from Judy's garden where they can see the butterflies, and they're exploring the different flowers which he's sitting on. The examples of the butterfly, I mean, what we can grow in the butterfly garden could be zinnias or lavenders, coneflowers, milkweed, um, different kinds of flowers which are attractive and which helps butterfly to attract. Then the vegetable gardens, we can use different vegetables in the containers or like in the raised beds. Fairy garden. We can also we can include tiny houses, fairies, some painted rocks, some succulents in there. Then the dinosaur garden.
Oh, hold
If you
on a
can see
second,
that,
Manuel. Someone
yes,
asked about some edible plants that we can have, and I know we don't have a lot of time left, but I want to make sure that I answer that question.
yes,
Some calendula, you can use it in
yeah,
salads and rice dishes. They're easy to
yes.
grow from seed. You can plant some nasturtiums are easy, and also are edible. You can plant violas and pansies. Those are all edible. They're mildly slightly sweet or grassy. You can use these all in salads and desserts and ice cubes. I know we don't have that much time left, but I want to make sure that we share those QR codes so you guys can get some recipes as well as the uh, the book list of gardens, and I think some resources on some grants that might be available to you. So, because I think that those are valuable resources to you. So we might need to get past a couple of things just so that we can get to those
Okay.
things and make sure that they get those those resources. I want to make sure that they get them. Oh, 10B, that's why you can plant all the good stuff. Does anybody have any questions for us? I know we run out of time. Gardening is such a broad topic and there's so much to share, but I want to encourage you guys to get out there, make sure you guys get these gardening resources with the QR codes, take the pictures and get those, because you're going to want to make sure you're looking into some of those grants so that you can get some seeds. And if you don't get grants, ask some of your nurseries, your local nurseries, and let them know that you guys are going to be planting and you really would like for them to contribute. And that's a great way to get your community involved. Ask your neighbors if they're being willing to contribute or give you guys some seeds so that you guys can plant. Also, go to the closing remarks after this so that you guys can make sure to get your certificates, because I know it's been a long day and you guys want to make sure you get those. So make sure you go to those closing remarks after this. I don't want you guys to miss out on that. And thank you guys for joining us. I'm so excited, and I hope you guys are going to get out there and plant some seeds and share these experiences with your families and the children that you guys watch and care for. There's so much to learn. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Sorry we had to rush at the end, but we're getting there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy your summer.